excursion to D.C. about midweek. We have Central Bank of Iraq with a delegation here, including the governor of the central bank right now. Can't imagine they came all this way to discuss the 5 banks that the Treasury had an issue with. They were trying to clean up corruption just to get them out. There's something bigger going on. And great reminders, the whole world needs this.
All right, that was our friend, the original Mark Z, earlier today on his podcast. What he's telling you is that all of the major players from the Central Bank of Iraq are in New York to meet with the Federal Reserve / U.S. Treasury right now as we speak. And that is not something you would do simply to discuss the 4 or 5 banks. This is a major thing that they're in town for. And what he also told you later on the podcast, which really hasn't come out there yet, and people haven't noticed, it doesn't seem like, is he told you people are getting paid. People are getting paid under the RV. They are getting currency exchanged. Major groups are getting exchanged. These are groups. These are not individuals, not quite yet, but the groups are being paid. That is pretty significant stuff. Okay, welcome to Real News Live. It is a Monday morning news and Jentel show. I am your host, Mike Barra, in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm a little hungover today. I had some fun with some friends last night in Las Vegas. I do live in Vegas after all. And I'm going to be even more hungover tomorrow, but I get to sleep in because I don't have a morning podcast. I'm joined, as I always am, by my co-host, the lovely lady with the lustrous hair from Hayden, Idaho, Jennifer Doreen. Jen, how are you on this marvelous Monday morning? And how was your weekend?
All is well. Doing good.
All is well. All right. So the Central Bank of Iraq, major players, including Al-Halak, who is the head of the CBI, are in New York. They are meeting with U.S. Treasury officials. That doesn't mean nothing. So a lot of stuff's happening on that end. We had a quiet weekend. Jen, remember she told you August 23rd, God wins. I think you can claim a Jentel confirm on that one. We'll talk about that when Jen gets to the Jentel. And also, August 26th, God apparently wins also because Oasis is getting back together and going to go on a tour. So if that isn't God telling you we're winning, I don't know what is, folks. So got my Oasis playlist going and everything. All right, Jen, I don't really have much more in the way of news than that. Everything is dead quiet on the bond front, which I believe means most, if not all, of the bond people have been paid. That is the backbone of the RV for the individuals. The bonds are going to fund. The bonds are backed by gold. The bonds are therefore going to fund the currency exchanges that you and I and the rest of us are going to do. That's what I got. I got nothing else in the way of news. Anything else you got in the way of Jentel you'd like to pass on, or should we just go straight into it?
We should just go straight into it.
All right. Let's get you your little Jentel banner up and let you roll, baby.
Hi. This is Interdimensional Meditation, Jentel for 8/26/24 by Jennifer Doring. Went into meditation, spoke to Archangel Michael and Gabriel. RV news. So there was a delay, and it had to do with transactions. It wasn't so much transaction speed. He says it was the ability of the banks to receive off ledger. So somehow it's confusing for me. So somehow we got to get this money sent and received without it being intercepted. And it's supposed to be done on like a different system, which everybody says, oh, it's a QFS system and it's supposed to be instant. It's supposed to be fail proof. Well, nothing ever is. Okay, so some kind of coding is needed to proceed. They've been working on that. They're working on the problem, and as soon as that is fixed and handled, which is very important as we proceed, things will fund. Okay. Once funded and the problem is fixed, they can proceed with Tier 4B. So we're just at this point in time. I'm not getting any dates on estimation on that because you know how that kind of thing goes. But keyword, some kind of coding is needed. There was some kind of glitch. There was some kind of problem. They're working on it. As soon as that funds, we can get to 4B.
Yeah, Mark confirmed that. He said there was testing going on that was
okay.
Okay.
What do we get? What do they tell people every time there's some kind of problem? Oh, we're testing. We're testing. This is an exercise.
Oh, and Bat, by the way, not to interrupt you again, but Batman says the problem has been fixed. It's good news.
Yay. That is okay. Moving on. I just okay.
That's true.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Did you get that?
Okay.
Did you just get a hit that was true?
Yeah.
Yes.
let's move on. Let's move on. In other news, now, disclaimer when I say this, okay? I am easily discredited. I am a psychic foo-foo lady. Okay? Talks to angels, Jesus, and God stuff. Okay? So I don't want any men in black people, anybody like that showing at my door. Take it with a grain of salt. This is what I got. The owner of Telegram is not who you think. It is the same situation as Snowden or possibly Assange. He is a character. Foo-Foo Lady, remember this? Remember Foo-Foo Lady, okay? It is owned by the NSA and it's an alliance owned. That is why they're trying to take it down. Okay? So I don't care what you hear in the news. I'm sure Phil probably have some coded something to come out and tell us about later. But that's what I got. When the news came out about this guy and being arrested and all that stuff, I can't find a consciousness. I'm like, that's a fake person. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. This is what I got. Now, we've got Jentel confirmed on the 2 storms, one coming right after another that I saw last week, I believe it was. That's coming, and it's coming towards Hawaii, I believe. But once again, the information came out to watch the 2 storms, prepare, take it seriously. In the beginning, it wasn't so much wind, it was water. Prepare for water. I didn't look at the weather report. I didn't look at exactly where it was. I just got to my text messages and stuff over the weekend, and Mike's brother Dave sent me information about the report of one storm right after another. Okay, prepare for that. Now, once again, Foo-Foo Lady, okay, giving you guys all kinds of conspiracy theories this morning because we like that. That's fun. RFK Jr. was asked to run by the White Hats in the beginning. It's always been part of the plan. And he was asked to duck out by the White Hats and join forces with Trump. These characters, these people, these are real people actually, Musk, RFK Jr., and others will help form what they refer to as the new union. And they will be in charge of the different areas that we know as the Nassara-Jassara rollout for exposure and cleanup. So, as far as August 23rd, God wins, we already got confirmation on that 2 years ago in 20. I think, what was it, Mike? 2022, when the Nassara-Jassara or BRICS, whatever paperwork was circulating, and that was the date on the paperwork, okay? And then at that time, I told you they had like 1 year or 2 years to get it complete. Well, August 23rd this year, what did we see?
Yeah.
We saw RFK Jr. come out and start exposing a bunch of stuff. This is going to get fun. For all of us, this is going to get fun. Everybody else, probably going to be kind of scary, okay? But that was significant. And he is part of the same behind the scenes group. Like we know of all these evil organizations that have existed for a long time. Well, there's a good one too. And it goes back time. And every time I think about it, I look back all the way back to the Boston Tea Party. There's a group of patriots who've, you know how they got the Masons, you got all these different groups. It's a group like that Trump was part of, and so is RFK Jr.
Who conspired in secret also, just like the White Hats are doing this kind of in secret.
Well,
just thought I would
add.
It's
a good guy group.
Yeah, well, so was it. So yeah,
good guy patriot group that's been going on for a long time behind the scenes, trying to fight all this stuff all this time. They're part of it, generation after generation. Okay, it wasn't just like, oh, hey, Trump, you're kind of popular, and we think you're kind of smart. You want to run for president? No. These are trusted individuals. So things are coming together. I don't know what that's going to look like, but we're starting to see all the aspects of Nasara Jasara and that rollout and the people stepping into position to ensure that happens. So we have made progress. We got progress on the RV. We're in a very exciting place. So nobody should be crying over there. When is it going to happen? Nothing's happening. It is happening. Okay. It's all behind the scenes. It has to be. It has to be. Everything's very quiet because things are happening. Okay. And that's Jentel for today.
Well, it's not all behind the scenes because it is coming out. I mean, again, this secret group of good guys, I guess, white hats, whatever you want to call them, just exactly like the 1776 revolution, meeting behind closed doors, but publicly moving. And remember, last week's Jentel, okay? Are you ready for the political transition?
That's right.
And August 23rd, God wins. What the fuck do you think that was?
That's right.
A Kennedy, a major Kennedy, not some offshoot daughter of cousin Bill Kennedy. A Kennedy, the son of the murdered Robert F. Kennedy, who looked exactly like his father. I was sitting in an airport in Detroit in 1999, getting ready to go back home to Nagy, the ex-wife. And I'm sitting across from this guy at the airport. And I think I had just seen the film 13 Days, which is about the Cuban Missile Crisis. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, God, that guy looks like a Kennedy, man. If he was an actor, he could play Bobby Kennedy so perfectly, right? And then he gets on his cell phone, the old flip phone, and he's talking. He goes, yeah, can you ask him to call me back? Yeah. Bobby Kennedy Jr. So it was Bobby Kennedy Jr. I'm like, no wonder he looks like Robert F. Kennedy. But look, this is the son of Robert F. Kennedy, who was murdered. And Donald Trump, this is the most important thing that people don't get out of everything that happened. I see all this crap on Twitter. He's going to put Bobby Kennedy Jr. in charge of a committee, an executive committee, not a compromised congressional committee this time, to examine the assassination of his father and his uncle and the attempt on Donald Trump. And people are saying, well, he didn't say that he would run it on the assassination of his father. Believe me, he will. Now, I don't know. I tend to think the RFK assassination was an MK Ultra sort of Arab terrorist guy. But I know all about the JFK assassination. And I think I know what it means. And you know what? Here's the thing. The question is, will that committee have the guts to talk about the real reason JFK got murdered? Not just that CIA murdered him. Why did CIA murder him? They murdered him on orders from MJ-12, Majestic 12, the alien group. So this has the potential, Jen, to blow everything wide open, including ET. So that, that's pretty phenomenal. If that isn't a political transition that happened on the day that God wins, I don't know what is. So if I could take a little graphic and put a little queen crown on your head right now, I would. Da, 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 da.
Thank you. All glory to Jesus and God. But you know what? That's interesting because that was the first thing. Remember when I walked up in that meditation last week and he took me by the elbow?
He did the Roman handshake thing.
Yeah. And I was like,
the political transition.
The political transition is underway. Or are you ready for the... No, I wrote that down. That's what he said after. And what he actually said to me was, are you ready for the transition to take place?
Oh, okay. I thought he said political transition. But
yeah.
Okay.
And then he said the political transition is underway. And so I wrote that down. So you have to remember it. When I'm doing this, I either have to like, oh, okay, hold on, I got to write that down. Or I have to remember all this when I come out. So that was the gist of the Jentel last week. And then we started talking about other things, cancellation of the U.S. election. More info comes out about president, vice president, running mate. Now, the plan for the RV, and let's look at the wording on that. Last week was, the plan is to send notifications out during the convention, Wednesday through Friday. We will see how the week progresses. Many plans in place politically in the USA.
By the way,
wait a minute. What happened on Wednesday through Friday? Many plans politically underway in the USA. RFK joins with Trump Jr. Everyone is watching the parade. Now, I don't know if that was the DNC. We assumed it was, but sometimes, that's why I stopped saying in the news this week, because sometimes this stuff comes out a week or two later.
Right. And they were going to use the DNC to cover the RV, and it's a shame they didn't, but there's plenty of explosive stuff to cover up the actual visits and redemption appointments, I suppose.
Now, this week, when we're talking about what the delay was because we didn't progress that quickly last week. This is a translation of what he was telling me. So the delay is not transaction speed. It is the ability of the banks to receive. And he was talking about behind the scenes, something off ledger, two systems working, and some kind of glitch in between there. Some kind of coding is needed to proceed. They are working on the problem. Once funded and the problem is fixed, they can proceed with the next tier, which is 4B. Interesting on the whole Telegram thing, and interesting on the Kennedy connection. Now, our dear Phil gets to be very general and like put something out 2 years ago and say, see, I told you. And me, I got to be all specific and people come after me. It doesn't happen in 1 week. A little jealous, but a little jealous. Interesting that he did his movie. Like, why, of all things, why is this important now? Why would you do a whole movie on the assassination of of Kennedy?
John F. Kennedy, yeah.
Yeah. The reason I delay like that is because I'm thinking while I'm talking. I'm trying to put things together. I don't like planning.
When I do that,
my
eyes will go up like this. I'll access information and then I'll come back.
Yeah, that's why I do that.
Yeah.
You know, I really am kind
although
of.
I will say, from my perspective, Phil got about 90% of it.
No, I think it's very interesting now, looking back, that he just decided to do that. Million topics he could do that on. He could do a movie on that. And then we come up and we've got this going on now. And then what kind of commission is he the head of? Assassination attempts.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Then we've got Phil. What, last week or whenever last he was on, somebody said in chat he was talking about Telegram.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden that happens. So I don't give a crap what you think about somebody's life and what they do with how much money they make, or actually it's none of your damn business, all right, if you're jealous of him or not. The guy, whatever he's doing with his businesses, you're all informed exactly what it is before you get involved. And if you don't inform yourself before you get involved in something like that, that's your fault. Okay, yeah. He's not screwing anybody. But
plus people are making money off of the things he's offering.
Well, either way, everybody's informed completely about everything he's doing. So I'm not going to tell the guy how to make a living or do anything. Good for him. He's done a very good job. And he's done a very good job because he had ideas and he acted on it. Many of us have many ideas and we don't do a damn thing about it. So don't sit in the corner and cry if you're not going to act on your ideas.
Speaking of that, after the show, as soon as Jen goes, I'm going to be joined by Dr. Randi Shannon. We're going to be talking about Impact Health, a health sharing product which will replace your health insurance and at 1/3 the cost. So you should stick around for that after we're done. Thank you, Jen, for that little promo.
Well,
of our upcoming
okay.
All right.
But I've told you all along. Everybody's like, why do you watch him? Blah, blah, blah. Well, it's none of your damn business what I do. Okay. I do what I want. That's why. And I've always felt something there. Guy knows something.
Yep.
Okay. Very interesting the way things are playing out. And when I take a step back and look at the whole thing, it's all leading up to the rollout. It's all leading up to Nassar's Shah rollout. I told you a long time ago, they're not going to call it that, but it's going to have all the aspects. All the pieces are going to come into place. Yesterday I was scrolling Facebook. What was the first memory that popped up? That was highlighted from my Facebook memories. It was the Nassara framework poster. Now I'm pretty sure that was the correct one that I shared. I shared it 4 years ago. Things are falling into place now, and we're moving, and that is good. So everybody should be happy.
As Chris points out, the balance of power changes with the bonds paying as it frees up the gold to back, not ACK, but back all of the new currencies. They had the money. We have it now. Thank you, Batman. Good point. That's what I was trying to say when I said, look, once the bonds are funded, we're next. So
I just got really excited about that. That is good news. That is good news.
About how many? About 1,300 of you guys in the stream today. We appreciate each and every one of you. Let me take down the crosstalk banner. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we would like to remind you guys that when we do questions with Jen, which is coming up next, it's very important that you include your real name and the name of the person or the pet you may be asking about. I think that's very important. It helps Jen connect and simply get in and get going on what it is you want to know. So that's really, really crucial stuff. Also, please do not forget that I'm not going to say this anymore. I'm not pulling the videos down anymore. Now I'm probably risking one or more of my channels on YouTube getting taken down, but I'm at the point now where Jen, what's the right way to say it? I just don't give a shit. Okay, so I'm not going to pull them down. I'm not going to pull them down, but you can always go to mikebara.blogspot.com and pick up all the shows. You can also pick up interviews I've done with people in the community, like Marina Sarin, my Calvine UFO photo, which proves that it is the peak of Farragon Hill in Scotland. I'm not going to mention any names, but some people, Nick Pope, keeps saying it's a UFO. It's not. It is. I proved it. It is simply the peak of a hill in Scotland, sticking through the clouds. And I think somebody took a picture and said, of a Harrier jet that was flying over and said, "Oh, looks like it's chasing a UFO." They sold it to a Scottish newspaper for 15 grand. Had a really nice weekend in Barbados. So congratulations to them. Also want to remind everybody that what we want you to do is slide on over to the Rumble channel, because on Rumble is where you're going to pick up the links on mikebear.blogspot.com. And we want you to please follow us on our new channel on Rumble, Real News Live with Mike and Jen. We still only have 2,570 followers over there. We did have an account on Rumble, which was called Real News Live. And unfortunately, we didn't realize that there's a channel and an account on Rumble. Why would you have both? And for some reason, we can't transfer all of our followers to our new channel. Maybe we can. I'll ask that question. But we want you to get over there and follow us on Real News Live with Mike and Jen. That is a channel, not an account. That means Rumble will now notice us. Rumble will start promoting us to other people based on your viewership and your follows and your activities within the stream. It also gives you the extra special privilege of being able to come down there and hit that little $ button. And let me just make sure it's showing. Yeah, hit the little $ button down at the bottom. And you can either Rumble rant us for any amount whatsoever, or you can simply hit the subscribe button and support the channel for $5 a month. Right now, before the RV happens, that's the best way to support the show. The best thing is should the show continue after the major events take place, nobody's going to need to do that anymore, because we're all going to be in the money as things now stand. Also, please do not forget to visit our wonderful sponsors, the CBD Gurus, over at thecbdgurus.com, where you can all get all kinds of CBD-based products for your health. Slide over to the wholesale tab, down to the Mike B Wholesale. Type in the discount code ALIEN, no uppercase, no S on the end of it. And check out today's wholesale deals on the lion's mane, the turkey tail mushrooms, the 5-matrix mushroom. What the hell is that, Jen? I want some of that 5-matrix mushroom stuff. The immunity formula, the gummies, the relaxation Delta 8 gummies. Guys, don't do what Mike did, okay? If you're going to try these products, peel off a quarter of one of the gummies. Don't take the whole gummy, because that was a memorable time. Anyway, and you can get your Make America Great Again ladies lounge pants, pajama bottoms. Go for that, ladies. And pick it all up over on cbdgurus.com. You can also hit the MikeBarraPets.com site, where you can get all kinds of healthy supplements for your kitties, your doggies, your horsies, and even yourself. These are all mushroom-based supplements. It's great stuff. Diana over there at MikeBarraPets.com can answer all of your questions. If you have a pet issue, if you have a health issue, send her an email at mikebaraPets@gmail.com, and she'll tell you the right products to use to help whatever health issue it is. I'm not supposed to say this. It's not medical advice, but she swears that the Enforce Coriolis Versicolor immune system booster helped cure her of a very dangerous and frequently fatal disease. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. I give Barkley much. What, Jen?
You're just I don't know if it's just me and my ears are sensitive today, but you're a bit loud. Can you push that back just a little bit?
Yeah. Is that better? Is that better? Because I have the issue of being too soft in most of my presentation. So anyway, I've got Barkley on the Mush Puppies and the Mojos. He's doing great. There's Super Sauce for the dogs and cats. There's Mush Ponies for the horsies. And there's the Enforce Plus Clarity Restore and Immune System Booster for the people. They've got coffee. They've got chocolates. They got starter packs. Slide on over to MikeBarraPets.com. And Diana is a certified pet nutritionist. So if you're having a pet problem, absolutely, definitely slide on over and send her an email. Also, please, if you're going to buy gold or silver, absolutely slide on to milesfranklin.com. Just do me a favor. Make sure in whatever order email you send them, you mentioned you heard about them from me. I'm not getting anything from Andy right now, but this is our friend Andy Scheckman. We're going to drive business to him. If you're going to buy gold or silver, buy it from Miles Franklin. They have absolute integrity, and you can also help support the show. Don't forget also, please pick up your Ledger hardware wallet. Link is in the description. I've got the Ledger Nano S Plus. I've got all my crypto on this hardware wallet. Nobody can get to it unless they come in and steal it. Is that it? Oh, yeah. And a little later today, as soon as this Jen is off the show, we're going to welcome in our friend, Dr. Randi Shannon, who's going to come in and talk about impact health sharing as an extremely affordable and extremely flexible medical insurance alternative. She's going to join us about 11:15 today or 2:15 Eastern after Jen and I are done. And I think you want to tune in for that because it's really incredible product that I really support. I think that's it in terms of everything I have to talk to people about. Jen, why don't you tell us, I can read, what's going on over at jenniferfalaw.com.
Okay, yeah, I don't have any sponsors. I'm not involved in anything, but this is my website. And if you would like a reading or a healing with me, go to jenniferfalaw.com. I also have my 2 friends that I've been friends with for 14 years now, are on the website. Susan Gretz, you can get a session with her. Just purchase it, email her, tell her what you want. Same thing with Marcy Howell. Marcy does cleansings and house cleansings. She also does mediumship. I'm trying to push her in that direction, but I don't know if she's doing that right now, but you can ask her. All the way up to the top, the 15-minute spirit guide check-in. So basically what we're going to do, this is mediumship really, but we're going to talk to your spirit guide. It's a 15-minute because I did a 15-minute because people, money's tight. $59. This is a reading that we're going to talk to your spirit guide. We're going to take a look at your life path. We're going to see if we're on the best track we could be on, if there's any improvements we can make. Help you understand where you're at a little bit within 15 minutes. That sale and that offer, this reading, will be taken down end of the day Tuesday. So you got all day today and all day tomorrow to get in there and get one. If you would like to purchase multiples, I can make gift cards. So if you want to check in with your spirit guide once a month, which is kind of cool idea, use the love button above. I also, if you're on Telegram with me, Philosophy on Telegram and Jennifer Faldoring, I have a Square link there. You can also use my Square link if you don't want to use PayPal. The love button does take a card, although it runs it through PayPal. I don't think you have to have an account. So 15-minute spirit guide check-in will not be offered after Tuesday night. End of the day, probably be Wednesday morning, but you know how I do things. Also, emails, we're there again. It's Monday. I took the whole weekend off because I just needed to, doing domestic things. So I'm catching up on emails again. It's always Monday and Tuesday, getting the emails. I'll get you scheduled. I get your information. Please do not email me 8 times. And so I'm catching up on things today and tomorrow. And that's just kind of how the beginning of the week goes. So go to jenniferfalaw.com and everyone must email me after the purchase of anything. The email is everywhere on my website.
Okay. And that is what's going on over at jenniferfalaw.com right now. Jen, I'm sorry you don't have any sponsors. You could always sell pictures of your feet on OnlyFans.
If I what?
Your feet.
Yeah. Moving. Yeah.
A lot of weirdos out there.
Pass on that one. Yeah, I'm sure my husband and family will love that.
I was out with a girl. I was out with 3 girls last night, and it was funny. We were chit chatting, and we were just having drinks, having a good time down at Harris and at an Italian restaurant. And I made some crack like that. I'm like, well, you can always sell pictures of your feet on OnlyFans and make a fortune. And this one girl goes to me, you really don't make that much at that. So we live in a strange world. World. All right, Jen, let us get to the questions. We got about 30 minutes left. One of the privileges of going over to the Rumble channel and liking and subscribing for $5 a month is that you get to get your question answered first on the Monday and Wednesday shows with Jen. So let's
And I have been approached by people that want to be sponsors, but I'm just the kind of person.
Yeah, you're
And
just
I'm not saying any of your sponsors aren't legit, because we all know CBD gurus and all that, you know.
And Mike Bear Pets or
and
whatever.
they're awesome. And all that is good stuff. But like for me personally, unless I use something and I'm like if the makers of the magnesium lotion, you know, LifeFlow magnesium lotion would like to, I would totally be. I would sell that crap like you would not believe, because I have used it and I know it works. Just like with my ladies, I know tons of psychic people, but I have been with these girls and I have seen their work and I have seen their sacrifice and I've seen their true intentions for years and years and years. So I'm just like that. I have to like really believe in what I'm selling in order to stand behind it.
I believe in everything. Just so you know, I mean, I absolutely support all of these guys. I think Matt and Lucas are wonderful people. I think that the Diana,
all of them are. But like, I'm just saying, for me personally, that's why I haven't gotten any sponsors, because I always kind of hesitate. Like, well, I'm not really sure. I haven't used that much.
And I used that magnesium lotion on a hot spot on my neck and shoulder a couple days ago, and it worked great. And by the way, I think I finally have Dave Barra taking magnesium, so hopefully it will help improve his overall health and well-being. So, all right, let's move on to the questions. Again, Little Red Castle on Rumble means you get to ask your question first, so we're going to start over there on the Rumble side. Looks to me, Jen, look, we already have $100 Rumble rant in there. I'm guessing I was going to guess it was Super Dave, but
is it Dave?
It may not be. Dave. No, it's Kate. It's K Turtle 8 is now a monthly supporter. Carissa, she people keep having a hard time. They get disconnected. Letty is now a $5. Yeah, it's Dave. It's Super Dave. It's Super Dave. Let's start with him. He gave us $100. Let's start with him. Jen, Super Dave, aka Pork Chop. Jen, I decided to go to Thailand in a few weeks. Will it be as much fun as I think it will be? Yes, it will, Dave. Oh, sorry. Will it be as much fun as I think it will be, is what Super Dave would like to know. So we're not going to be seeing any contributions from Dave for a while, because he's going to be spending his money right and left in Thailand. Is Dave going to have a good time in Thailand?
Yes, the word is interesting. But yes, positive, interesting.
Okay. Nikki, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. And remember, your real name is really important. Nikki's happened to be, I think, in her username. But she wants to know, should I move back to Utah, or will I be living in the apartment I'm interested in Arizona?
What I'm hearing is you stay.
Okay.
So wherever it is you are now.
You stay?
For a while.
All right. Betty, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, does Joe Biden have to be pronounced deceased before we get to exchange? Interesting question. I don't know. Does the character of Joe have to? No. Answer is no.
For the public RV to announce going to gold, I believe he's got to be out of the way, or something with that's got to happen.
Yeah.
But for the behind the scenes stuff, no.
No.
Because we've already been doing the other tiers.
And the exchanges should be behind the scenes. So,
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Diana, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, will my daughter Cassie's wedding with Mikey still happen on October 12th, 2024? Thank you in advance. Diana wants to know if Cassie's wedding to Mikey will happen on October 12th, 2024.
It will.
All right. Kathy W., Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, do you see my nephew Ron Jr. getting a place to live besides his car anytime? God, a lot of people suffering. A lot of people living in cars.
He gets into a one-bedroom or a studio kind of apartment shortly. He gets somebody does something.
Earthman Jim, thank you again for becoming a monthly supporter. We appreciate that. Susan, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, do you see me being able to take care of my family and do the humanitarian projects I'm longing to do?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Carl and Brenda, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says Bronco has one possibility, 2 decks for us to build. Do you see us getting one or both jobs for the money we ask?
Is that like a riddle? Like what?
Yeah.
I don't understand the question. Pass.
So, Carl and Brenda, wow. Oh, they're trying to get, okay. I think what they're asking about is they have a customer who wants them to build either 1 or possibly 2 decks. Will they get either one of those jobs or both for the money they want? That's what Carl and Brenda are asking. Carl with a K.
One person's totally out. They're going with somebody else. You're going to get one. That's all I see is 1.
Well, that's hopeful there, Brenda. Okay, Gloria, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, will I close on my dream house in September? That's a trick question. We all know
I don't want to do those today.
That's all about. Donald J. Trump is to speak at 2 p.m. in Detroit to the National Guard. Good for him. Okay, Nikki already asked that question.
Why is he speaking with the National Guard?
I do.
Interesting.
Well, he went to Arlington National Cemetery, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Is that true? When people were asking about that.
Yeah, and what my take on that is that this was not, and I posted about it on Telegram, like when the president goes, there's 2 times a year. I think it was Memorial Day and Veterans Day when he goes and they lay the wreaths and stuff. So this wasn't a scheduled Biden thing to do. This is something Trump wanted to do because it was the anniversary of their deaths and the withdrawal?
Yeah, from Afghanistan, and it reinforces what an incompetent mess that was. So, okay, Christina would like to know, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Do you see me getting the vacation home in Montana I love anytime soon? Another trick question.
Yeah, I don't really want to do those today.
I know, but okay.
I don't have to answer every question someone wants to ask me. So look for something a little more constructive here, that they're just looking for a timeline. But let me look.
I don't always read the questions before.
Vacation home in Montana. I think the location is off. I see a vacation home, but I don't know if I'm in Montana. Might be maybe North Dakota, something like that. I don't know. It's off a little bit.
Do you know who K Turtle 8 is? Is that Carissa? Because she didn't give us her name.
Absolutely.
Okay. Someone is looking to buy my dad's company again. Will he sell it this time? And if so, will everyone involved be happy with the outcome?
No, he won't sell it.
Okay, Annette, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Jen, can you see when my granddaughter Quinn may be released from Lurie's Hospital in Chicago? They are trying to regulate meds for her diagnosis of having epilepsy.
I went in and did a healing this morning. Couple days. Worst case scenario will be a week. I mean, just a couple days, I think.
Okay. Annabelle's mom says, I keep seeing 444, and you just said all as well. Okay, I guess that's what 444 means. Rainbow 13, Lorraine, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, I've done many medical treatments and spiritual healings to correct very severe legal blindness. What is my higher self waiting for, please? Love you. Lorraine wants to know why her legal blindness isn't getting better.
Because you want to get into a med bed?
Okay. Phil said last live or a while back, the guy who owns Telegram isn't who you think. I did not know that.
Did he?
Scott says, I had a great week in Orlando. I used the Baxter med bed, which he says is amazing.
I know he was talking about Telegram, but I don't remember him saying it that way. Well, Grain of salt, then, because if he did, then that's it. That was in the back of my mind.
Maybe you heard that. Yeah, who knows?
But maybe
Flores Letty, Little Red
That's it.
Castle,
Okay.
$5 a month subscriber. Yay, welcome. Super Dave, super chat up there, of course. Lisa, do you see me owning a home abroad, please? Probably. Looking for it or not.
Yeah, I think it might be like Germany.
Wow.
Really got a whole German vibe there.
Letitia, who just signed up, $5 a month subscriber, Little Red Castle, says, will my 25-year-old daughter, Elizabeth, ever find her soulmate?
Soulmate's still in heaven, so it's, we're looking for something close. Let's see what we got. Lifelong relationship, yes. Within the next couple years or less.
Earthman Jim, $5 a month subscriber, Little Red Castle, says, will my son Taylor end up keeping or selling his training gym? And should he move to Hawaii?
Who's asking?
Jim.
Jim with son Taylor. No move to Hawaii. Yes, on the first question.
Gag Girl 1964 is now a monthly supporter. Gag Girl. Okay, we're not going to go there. Jennifer is the Queen of Jentel. Yes, she is. Tammy, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, I keep seeing the number 1111, and I have been now for some time. Sometimes it is multiple times a day. You can only see it twice a day. I didn't, if you were looking at clocks, I didn't think much about it since that is my birthday, but it is just so often. Does it mean something?
This is okay. So when you become aware of some kind of meaning to angel numbers, that the angels will use it as code to communicate with you, to get through to you at certain times. Usually when you're not looking for it. The whole 1111 thing is about manifestation. It's about conscious creation. So we want to, and that may pop up at a time maybe when it's not so much that we're thinking wrong, it's that it's an opportunity. Some people say, oh, the universe just took a screenshot of what you are creating. So think about what you're creating, and in that moment when you see 1111, state something positive. All is well.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Sean, who is Gag Girl 1964, says, will I get a job before notifications?
Okay, didn't we just do a question from Gag Girl?
No. Yeah. No, we just did an acknowledgement that she's a monthly supporter. This is her question.
Okay, so what's her question?
Sean, SHAWN.
And what was the question?
Will I get a job before notifications?
No.
Silver's up to $30. Thanks, Daz baby. Hi Jen, and hi Mike and Jen. Megan Angus. On Bruce's big call last week, he mentioned 15 currencies are in BRICS. Has this increased since last Thursday? I think it's increasing all the time, the BRICS members.
I do see movement there, like things being absorbed in. So I do think that there's some quick movement to get everything in order, to get everybody on board before what I think is like November, for the announcement to go to gold. There's a lot of things that have to happen before we do that public and in their countries as well. I don't know if they're all going to do it at the same time. What I thought was that they would do it first and the United States would be forced to do it.
Okay. Sarcastaby says, I love it, Mike, considering you were calling out Jen for being a potty mouth last week. Yes, I did swear today, but I do that all the time. We just don't expect to hear it from Jen. And I didn't call her out. I teased her a little bit about having a potty mouth.
Well, he says I drink too, but I don't.
Yes. Okay.
No.
I don't drink either, except on social occasions.
I don't drink unless I'm in Vegas or I'm camping, pretty much, or it's New Year's or something like that.
Lisa wants to know if her spirit guide has a message for her. Lisa, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber.
Trying to find her. A little more than Lisa for that.
Well, L-E-E, Lisa's World, Leesas World. Do you know that one?
You're fine. Stop worrying.
You're fine. Stop worrying.
You're worrying about things that are not real.
Gag Girl 1964 Sean says, just as a sidelight, our store also sells Enforced Coriolis mushrooms, and I've helped many become cancer-free with them. Great product that builds blood and the immune system. Terrific. That's not medical advice, but it is a testimony. Okay, Linda says, Canadian Credit Union is not set up for the QFS yet. Any estimates for Canada to RV? My name is Linda. I don't see any evidence of a red castle yet. Yeah, you've got a red castle there, Linda. That's under Molly's place. That's why I'm reading your question first. So
that's because you're seeing surface level banking.
Exactly. And behind the scenes, it is being done. So don't worry about it. You Canadians just need to stop worrying. And also, can you do something about Shatner? Shatner is having a problem on Twitter yesterday. He's literally defending the arrest of the guy who owns Telegram, the character. Joanne Patton, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, Jen, can you please ask Gabriel if I will have my gardener clean up my yard this week for our city pickup on Friday? So will Joanne's gardener show up and pick up her yard by Friday?
Wednesday.
There you go.
Wednesday or Thursday morning, depends on his schedule. But yeah, I mean, that's something you could like call him.
Yeah. K Turtle 8, we know it's you, Carissa. I think you're one of the ones I've actually learned. Okay. Clem here, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Clem says, can you tell me what happened to our old dog, Charlie? He was in his pen with the door open when we left the house and gone when we got home. Oh, Charlie. That's more of a Susan Gretz thing, but was this recent?
Was he left on his own somehow? I mean, he might have jumped a fence. I don't know what I'm seeing is a dog going out the back through the back fence.
Keep looking.
But that is a Susan Gretz thing. It's for some reason it's not my deal. She's really good at that. I'm not.
Keep looking for him.
She's really good at a lot of things. I'm not, and vice versa. So.
Kim Coatney, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, hi, Mike and Jen. We booked almost all big items for my daughter Ashley's wedding in June of 2025. At this time, are we on the right track, or is there anything we need to keep an eye on? She doesn't know if she's missed anything in the wedding preparations for her daughter Ashley. That's Kim.
I don't think so. I think if anything pops up, it's just minor details. Easy fix.
Clarice, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber, says, I'm considering being a vendor and selling belts at local horse show in October. Will it be successful?
You need better signage at this show. You need signage that's big letters, price points. You need to bring people in and you need to give something away. Get somebody in there giving out free hot dogs or something. Okay? Because there's going to be a lot of competition.
Okay. Sarah, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Do you still see infection anywhere in my body? I just finished my 10-day antibiotics for a kidney infection and I still don't feel great. This is Sarah with an H.
There's a little still in there. You need to go talk to the doctor. There's a little bit still in there. We don't want that to keep growing. I mean, you might be able to hit it with like
Coriolis versicolor mushroom.
Something like that with boost the immune system. But I don't want to mess around with that. You might have to do a little bit more.
Or the immune support from CBD Gurus.
There's a little bit still there.
Do those two things. And sometimes you have to do 2 runs of antibiotics. When I was having sinus infections, I had to do 2 runs a couple times.
Not with that kind of infection. I wouldn't mess around with
it. Diane here, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Once we exchange, will we be able to get started on our humanitarian projects, or do we have to wait until after NDA? No, not from what I understand. You will get started right away.
There will be a delay in starting your projects. What happens here is you put in for the project, you wait to be approved. They'll approve a certain amount of projects. What they will do is set you up with a project manager who you will sit down with, and they probably manage, I don't know how many, 5 people, something like that. And you'll sit down and you'll go over your plans, and you'll get all your questions answers from them. So there's really no need to worry, but there is a delay in beginning the projects for some. So you're not going to start that day. Here.
Okay, Little Red Castle. Sassy Termites. I don't know what your name is, but I'm going to give it a shot. If I buy the land I'm wanting in Texas for my nephew Jay, is it a good idea? Oh, Robin. Robin wants to know if she buys the land in Texas for her nephew Jay, is it a good idea, or do I need to look elsewhere?
You do look elsewhere, because I see a big blank on the property for Jay.
Okay. Sandy Balone, I'm looking for your question. I don't see it. I did not skip it. I usually try not to skip any. Would you resubmit your question, please? Because I can't find it.
We got 10 minutes, so can we get to the YouTubers?
Okay. Yeah. Sarcastically, $10 Rumble rent. I want to get your question in, but I don't. Do I have your name from the previous thing? I don't have your name, hun.
Just read it.
Do you see my brother with me? He passed unexpectedly a while back, but I seem to feel him with me. She's like, I seem to feel my mom.
Mom comes on occasion. The brother actually has been there often.
Okay.
Over time, yeah.
Okay, 10 minutes left.
There's actually 3 that visit you often. So if you know somebody else over there.
I see that Dr. Randi Shannon is here to do the Impact Health thing. Stick around for that. As soon as Jen and I get done with questions from YouTube, we will be going to Dr. Randi. So let's go to the chat. Let's go to the questions. Patriot Hero says, I had a dream 2 weeks ago. It was going to happen Monday or Tuesday. Let's hope that's true. Ruben Darren wants to know if you can ask Jesus about the new pandemic. How would this hurt people this time? Well, I don't think anybody's going to buy into it this time. Ruben Darren.
Fizzles out.
Jen, do you think Dreams could be working on alternate timelines? Just woke up this AM from a really weird dream.
I have always suspected that. It's always been one of my favorite topics, and I have had some weird dreams. I mean, like where I knew I was in an alternate reality with my friend.
Yeah.
Weird. That I could ask, but that's a huge topic that would take a lot of meditation research.
Yeah. Okay. Richard Gregory says, don't forget the testing did that proved the Shroud of Turin was real. They did not prove that, but there is now conflicting dating between medieval and the time of Jesus. So there's 2 different alternatives.
There was a shroud. It deteriorated. They replaced it a long time ago. So
wow.
That's what I got.
Wow.
And a long time ago.
Is that Jesus, or is that somebody else like Jacques de Molay? Do we know who that image is? Is that really Jesus's death shroud?
Jesus looked very similar to the shroud that they put in there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the same one.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, if you pray over something, and people pray over something, and they believe that something is something, now that piece of something can become very sacred over time in Jesus's name.
Okay. Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. But if you're going to take the DNA from the blood, or if you're going to, do a computer model of what that person looked like, I saw that. It's a little off. There is a girl, the closest that I have seen from what I see. When I first met Jesus in meditation, I didn't know who he was. His features were a little bit darker. The hair was a little bit darker. It was a little bit off than what we normally see in all the statues and pictures. And there's a girl who is from Post Falls, Idaho, who did an amazing painting as like 12 years old.
Yeah.
And that is the closest that I have seen to what I see of Jesus.
Okay, couple more questions. Nico Lockey, good morning. This is Nico. And my question is, will I start this week on the TV series Ted? I need the work. It's 11/11, dude. So I would say, yeah, the answer to that is yes. That's what I'm telling you, buddy. So yes. But what does Jen say?
Next week.
No pressure. William T. Wooten says, Jen, please unblock me from your channel and please tell me what I did. Well, Jen doesn't do the blocking over there.
Oh, yeah, I do. I do block some people.
Oh, do
Piss me off, I'll block you. But like, sometimes people, it's a mistake because somebody will post something with like flashing lights and red exclamation marks and everything else, or something that looks like spam, and the admins and I just, okay, spam, and we get rid of you. And sometimes a mistake.
Adam,
I would have to check with my admin before I let you back in to make sure there was no problem.
Okay.
Adam
Greaves is here. Hi, Greavesy. Manchester City's off to a pretty great start. Okie55, just a couple questions left. Hi, this is Marta. You had said my daughter Marissa would meet her significant other this summer. Could you please check on the status of that and any details like the first name, etc.? Marta wants
your daughter Marta has to be more social and get out there.
If you hide in your house, Marta, he's not going to find you.
Well, it can delay it. If something's written to meet somebody, you'll meet them one way or another. But
Susie Q says,
I feel like it's still in the works.
Okay. Susie says, my daughter Diana is in New York City. Do you see her moving to a better apartment situation anytime soon?
Dana. Within the next 2-3 months.
Cool. Just a couple more questions. Hi, Jen. This is Bill. Do you see me moving to Idaho or staying in Washington? Thank you.
Idaho bound. Come on over with us.
Oh, this is really sad. Kim says, my heart's breaking. I just put down the dog that was my mom's. Feel like I lost my mom all over again. Jen, did I do the right thing? And how is Gabby? Is Gabby with my mom, Betty, now? Well, I'm sure he is. Or she is.
Yeah.
It's sad.
She was right there.
Yeah.
Just took him home.
Oh.
It's okay. It's okay. You had to do it.
Yeah, you just got to end the suffering sometimes. Nico Lockey, thanks, guys. I like your answer better, Mike. Well, sure you do. Man City, just get with it, sweetie. Just go. Is this Frederica? Rika, just go buy some light blue stuff. Man United, sorry. Manchester United, the filth, as we call them on the east side of Manchester. Okay, Mamu, one more question. Mike, I asked the question at Rumble, but you never asked Jen. Please, can you tell me approximately the time when I will get into a med bed? This is Laura. Month, maybe, year?
Trying to find her. Give me your first and last name. You want a quick answer on that? I'm over into like February.
Okay. Not that far away. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up for me and Jen. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors. Jen, anything you'd like to leave anybody with today? And Jen and I will be back on Wednesday to do Tell the Truth Wednesday. Jen, any further information or any closing sentiments you'd like to send out there?
I don't know if I'm doing a show tomorrow or if I'm doing it on Thursday. I really don't know what I'm talking about yet. Usually happens and I get on there and talk for 2 hours. This is happening. I mean, this is real. I mean, I've said that all along, but like when it hits you in the face and I start hearing some things that I can't talk to you about, I mean, this is real. Okay? Just maintain. All right, everybody stay calm and maintain because this is happening. Okay.
All right, Jen, thank you for being here. Love you. See you on Wednesday. Have a great couple of days. And you hear anything juicy, you let me know, okay? I'll do likewise. All right, Jen, thanks for being here.
Bye.
I'm going to just cut you off now, Jen, just to make you disappear.
Later.
Bye. All right. So, Jen, thank you for being here. We're going to now bring in Dr. Randi Shannon, a naturopathic doctor. Thank you, Randi, for showing up and listening to the end of that part of the show.
That was great.
How are you doing today? Jen is a remote viewer and spiritual psychic medium kind of thing. And we do a show here on the news, and it's been a pretty interesting ride for the last couple of years. So I'd like to welcome Dr. Shannon into the show. For those of you who don't know, Randi, why don't you tell them a little bit about who you are? And we're going to talk about Impact Health today, one of our new sponsors, and we're going to help them and they're going to help us. And welcome, Dr. Randi.
It's actually so amazing what I'm going to talk about. Doesn't that sound kind of like a sleeper thing? But it's actually a great topic, and I've got some jaw-dropping information that people are just going to be mind blown over. But thank you so much for having me. First time on your platform, and I'm loving it. I watched you on a show the other night, and I was absolutely cracking up on some of the things that were in your phone, actually. So
that must have been Whiskey and Wisdom.
It was.
Look in my phone because it's not all pictures of stuffed animals of cats. Okay, it's just
exactly. So the Merkel one was the one that cracked me up the most, and her doppelganger. So
yeah. Well, I mean, look, she's related to the big H. There's no way around that. I think if you look at it. And that's the way everything works in politics, is there's these bloodlines. And I think Bobby Kennedy, is going to expose that when it all comes down to it. So just to let you know, now, I don't know if you've used a Restream before, but at the bottom of your screen, there should be 3 icons, like a microphone and a camera or a video thing. And then the next one is a screen share. So if you want to do a screen share, you just hit that and put up whatever you want to share, and then you can. I'll bring it in, and it can become the dominant thing. And
perfect. Now I know it's there. So I didn't know that I could. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But for your audience, and I see Laura said hi, hello, right back to you. So because I can see the chat. But I am a naturopathic doctor, and if you've ever heard of me, I actually look at faces, fingernails, tongues, and other marks of concern on the body. Yeah. And those actually tell a story that tells us what's going on with our organs. It's just nobody knows how to look for that. Nobody's ever been taught that.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. So, if you take a tree, this will help your listeners to understand. If you take a tree, we all learned this in elementary. You cut the tree in half, and you can see the rings. And you can see if that tree was exposed to fire or pestilence or flood.
Or an asteroid hit or
asteroids. Yeah, if it was petrified, we can see all that kind of stuff. And our body parts, those areas that I mentioned, are the exact same. So when I was going through school to become a naturopathic doctor, I found that I was really good at it and made it my career. And I love it. Now I go on shows all over the place. Your show, Sean Handy Radio, Charlie Ward, Lindell TV. So it's all over the place, and I can't even count how many podcasts.
And Mark and Zester too. Just so you know, I found Dr. Randi through Mark Z and through Zester. So Zach, as I know him. So she's a woman of integrity. She works for people that have integrity, and this is something that is, I'm not going to say blessed, but it's what we're going to talk about today is there's no scam going on here. This is all good stuff from good people. And that's the only kind of people I want to be associated with. So
100%. That'll bring up a topic that we're probably going to, I don't know what all we can get. Is this on YouTube? Are we going to get the boot?
We are on some YouTubes. We are on Rumble primarily, and it's going to go out to all my Telegrams and everything when we're over with. So it's going to go to everybody I know. Facebook. I wouldn't worry myself too much about YouTube. I'm kind of daring them to delete my channels now.
It could happen on mine, believe me.
I'm on my 8th or 9th YouTube channel. I'm not like Mark. I've just, given up on ever monetizing anything. And so I just basically talk about what I want and hopefully fly under the radar long enough for it to reach the people it needs to reach.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, they just throttle me hard. And so I just haven't even bothered really to, yeah.
It's interesting when you talked about body signs, because maybe I shouldn't ask this on the air because I might not like the answer, but occasionally I'll get these little black lines in my fingernails, like a little black line, and it's not something under my fingernails. It's a little part of it that goes black. And then I've heard this story about how people who have creases in their ears are guaranteed to have heart attacks. I don't know if any of that's true. Is any of that stuff true?
Well, I mean, that is depending on where it is. There is one that shows up on the ears. Okay. That can have everything to do with the heart. And the black lines, I mean, you asked on air, so I'm going to answer it on air.
Well, there actually aren't any. I don't have any right now. So, I mean.
Okay, that's good news. That's good news. Because those can be a sign of trauma or internal bleeding. It could be, you just stubbed your toe and, maybe you had some internal bleeding somewhere, in there. It could be a hemorrhoid, could be as simple as that. Could be something a little bit more.
That's it. Yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, I'm just kidding.
Mark Z's Zester. I say that all with love. He's so great. He's one of my most favorite people. And I see Jeremy on there as well. So
smart and remarkably handsome and only 32, ladies, for Zester. So he's available.
He's available and he's so funny. Every woman loves a guy that makes her laugh. So,
yeah.
And he's hilarious. He is hilarious. So I am here to talk mostly about Impact Health and, your audience. I'm not sure where they're going to be if I mention certain things, but this is kind of like a Bud Light moment in healthcare. And, it's a huge industry, healthcare itself. So let's just kind of start there. Over 300 million people in this country carry insurance, and about 260 of them, give or take, if I have my numbers right, are with the bigger company, BCBS.
Yeah.
Want to name them? Isn't it interesting that they have BS
Blue Cross,
in there?
Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Yeah. There we go. And who they support openly, and the mutilation of the little ones, and the drugs that actually change what they think they are.
Yep.
Boy versus girl. Yeah. And they're open about it, and they have it up on their actual websites.
So they're not on your side is what we want to. Yeah. They're not on our side. They're on the side of, I'm not going to say his name out loud, maybe Satan, but they're not on our side.
Exactly. It's definitely not God's side for sure. And so anytime somebody is paying their policy, they're actually paying for that, because what we do, what you are now a part of, Impact Health. And by the way, if you're interested, you want to for sure go to the show. They're going to have a link and phone number, etc.
Yeah, there's also a link in the description to Impact Health where you can sign up if you like what's going on. All in the description of all the videos, Rumble, all the YouTubes, everything. It's in there. So
awesome. Wow. So we're Impact Health is 50 to 70% less than those other companies. Mm-hmm. So just go that way, and then they have a deductible. And as a doctor, as a naturopathic doctor, I have always thought that this was a scam. They have a deductible per family member. So we have a family on Impact Health that has 7 kids. Maybe they're in Utah and they've got like 19. It doesn't matter. We stop billing at the third person. And those companies go by, hey, Mike, how much do you make? Because we're going to base what you're going to pay us on how much you have coming in. So I always thought that was a scam too. What does my healthcare have to do with how much I make?
Yeah.
And so Impact Health goes by the date of birth of the oldest family member. So if you've got a guy like out of Utah who's got 19 kids, I just feel like there was a show or something about that, right? The guy had 19.
Yeah.
So we stop billing at the third. And if anything were to happen, where they had to use the deductible. We don't call it that because we're not actually a health insurance company. We're a healthcare share program. We're a 501c3 not for profit. And yeah, and we actually pay the bills. There is a couple other healthcare share companies out there, but when you go to a doctor, you have to pay that doctor and then turn in your receipts later. We are not like that. We actually get a card, and it just like a typical insurance card. And with that card, we hand that over to the hospital as we're checking in. And then they will call the number on the back and get into the system. And it's one deductible, as what everybody has known, or PRA, primary responsibility amount is what we actually call it, for the whole family. That's huge. So if you're carrying one of those big companies right now and you have a $5,000 deductible per person, what if everybody went to the hospital in the same year? What if something bad happened and it sent you there? Everybody in the same year. You're going to pay that on every single person. It's insane that they have gotten away with that all these years. It's mind-blowing.
So when you get a card, you go to the doctor of your choice, as I understand it. It's like it doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter if you've already got another insurance. You just go to them and say, I've got a new insurance. I guess you can call it insurance, but you've got, I've got a new insurance carrier. You hand them that, they load it up, and then they bill them just like they would with BC or BS, right?
It's the exact same way.
So, and there's no networks, right? So everybody, you just go to any doctor you want to go to that you like.
Yeah. And to give a visual of that, I have a friend who in 2015 was diagnosed with cancer. And he wanted to come to Florida and work with me holistically. At that time, I wasn't like all online. I was actually seeing clients. And now nobody has to come to me. It's all online, the whole thing. So they can be anywhere. But this guy wanted to come here, do chemo, find a doctor in Florida. He was from Arkansas, and then do my holistic ways to help, keep his immune system up while he was dealing with the cancer. And his health coverage, which was Blue Cross Blue Shield, denied him. And 8 months later, he was passed away. So if you want the doctor for what's the best football team in the country, your opinion?
Seahawks. No, I mean the best. Kansas, the Chiefs have the best because they have the quarterback.
Okay, so we'll go with the Chiefs. Now, you can bet that football team, they have great knee doctors. They have great heart doctors, eye doctors. They have the best of the best. If you are in New York and you want to go to the Kansas City Chief doctor and he has an opening and he can schedule you with us, you can go there. You don't have to stick with the same networks, the same doctors and facilities just because they're in your radius or your state.
Right.
That's
yeah,
ridiculous.
The Seahawks have a team doctor, but he's really creepy looking. He looks like a serial killer, and I'm just like, God, can we get that guy off the sideline? He scares my inner child, right?
Yeah, I always say, if your doctor looks like hell, you should not be going to him. They got no good advice.
As an example, back about 10 years ago, the lead singer for U2, Bono, had a back thing, a slip disc in his back. He'd had back problems for years, and he's riding an exercise bike, and he suddenly can't feel his legs, and they had to get him into an emergency surgeon. Of course, he's super rich. He can afford it. He found the best doctor in Germany, I guess, and had the surgery immediately and was cured, but could have been paralyzed for the rest of his life if they didn't get right to it. So that's maybe Germany doesn't come, but any doctor in America, you're saying, I think, you can go to, right? Under this. That's it. And not have to worry about it.
Yeah, I literally it was a Mark Z client that has been a customer of mine for a long time, healthcare client of mine, and they're from like Idaho. They went to Montana for business. The wife had an emergency while there, and they had an emergency surgery there, came back to Idaho, and the insurance company denied the claim because it was over the state line, even in an emergency situation. Now, that's not with us. That's with her current carrier. She's not with us. And by the way, the average individual in America pays almost $500 a month. That's just for an individual. I'm 56. I'd be somewhere on the low end for the worst plans, $700, $750 for the best plans, over $1,000 every single month. And the average family with these bigger companies is spending right around $1,700 a month for their coverage. That's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
With us, a family of 3 or more is somewhere between $550 and $650. Way less. I haven't had anybody yet that we brought from those big companies that we did not save that was a family of 3 or more over $1,000 a month. Who could not use that right now?
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like going back to the prices before Obamacare. I was on private insurance. I had to pay my own way. I was doing a TV show in like 2013 before the Obamacare thing came along, and it was like $247 a month, and it covered me all over the country. And then, of course, the cost shot way up, and it actually became unaffordable for me to have that. I went through a period a lot of people do with no health insurance. And this way you don't have to, because this is so much less expensive than what you're going to pay for any regular major insurance company like BC or BS.
Yeah. You know, and it's the unforeseen circumstances that come along that send somebody to even go use their healthcare. And in 2019, something like 60% of all bankruptcies were because of unforeseen health circumstances. A guy has a heart attack, a stroke, whatever, sends him into that system. And then the system denies a bunch of the claim, if not most of the claim. And then they're left over with this gigantic bill that they can't pay. So that's a bad system. And I think that there's a reason that they had that system. They were hoping, I think, to get us more like Canada and, have long wait times, get us used to that.
Yeah.
I don't want to get used to that.
No, I don't want to get used to it either. Like, there's a drug I take, a pharmaceutical called clonazepam, which actually what I have is I'm mildly diabetic. I'm not super diabetic, but I have this thing, which is a symptom of diabetes, where my stomach doesn't drain fast normally. It doesn't drain as fast as it normally should. So I sometimes, if I eat the wrong thing or I eat 1 or 2 bites too much, I feel really sick. And so my brother had this, and I took it to help settle my stomach, and it works great. But in a situation right now, I'm out of the prescription because I'm changing doctors and so forth. So it's a situation where I can't get into a doctor that will see me that's in my network where I don't have to pay more than $40 for the appointment. It's like it's like a 2 or 3 month wait, which is ridiculous.
Oh no, that's crazy.
So I just want to go find another doctor that will see me to get my prescription. That's all I want. And it's like, most urgent cares won't do that. So it would be great to just call around, find the doctor that would be willing to see me tomorrow, and go boom, get done what I need to get done.
Can totally do that with our plan. And that's another thing. Like, these bigger companies, they have one enrollment period of time. So like, if you're working for a company, we have open enrollment, they're coming with their open enrollment, and corporations all have to decide. And by the way, everybody's healthcare is going up. Not with us. We haven't raised our prices in 5 years, and we're not raising them now, but all the rest of them are going up 11 to 14% at minimum. So if you think they're already taking a bunch out of your paycheck, they're going to take a whole lot more. And then you're locked into that forever. So anybody that gets started with us now, actually, we're coming to the end of the month. It will kick in September 1st. So they can save all that money almost immediately. And again, not stuck in with a physician and a facility. So how does that work? We had a guy that came to us with, he had already a prostate cancer. And he went through chemo and everything with his existing doctors and went through all of that. And now it comes time, he wants to have a scan to make sure that he's cancer-free. Well, they said, well, no, you're going to have to wait. And it was exactly like your situation, 2 or 3 months to find out. Well, last I looked, this is still America. I mean, we're barely holding on, I feel like, but it is still America, and we still have freedom of choice, and we can never let that go. And so he talked to, thank goodness, somebody with Impact Health. And he said, so if you're telling me, and this was in May, if I get this, it'll kick in June and I can go get my scan right away? The answer was yes. He could go find that doctor and he got his scan. I don't know what his results of that were, but he had that in 2 days flat, set up with a new doctor to get the scan. And there's hungry doctors out there. When somebody does come on board, you know, this is my card.
Okay.
I don't know if I have to block that out or not, but there's a number on the back. And so all he had to do was call that. And he actually asked Impact Health, hey, is there any doctors like literally in my zip code or my area? And they said, well, yeah, actually we have a few. And he got to pick and choose who he wanted. And he went to that doctor. It's just a suggestion on our side. So we love all the doctors joining us, chiropractors. We love these people joining us. And we're actually launching, they're making an announcement. I don't know if they'll make it. We're getting down to the end of the wire here for the month. I thought they were making it this month, but it is in a beta test right now. They're adding dental and vision. And it's my understanding that it's going to be at no extra cost. And I can tell you right now, 80% of the country is 80% trying to lower their costs. This is the answer. This is true medical freedom, a grassroots company made by Americans in America. These executives and this vice president stepped down from the other healthcare share programs and formed this because it was very inclusionary. They wanted to not, you know, I guess if there was a downside of the other ones, first of all, you had to, like I said about the bill, you had to go and pay the doctor and then hope to get reimbursed.
A month or two later, you get reimbursed. Yeah.
Our doctors get paid on average 10 to 15 days. So if they submit through the computer, the bill, our company gets it, and those doctors are paid within 10 to 15 days. And because we are a not-for-profit 501c3, we do something that nobody else is doing, which is repricing the bill. So what that means is the hospitals have to come down by law to fair market value in pricing. So we had a guy, $540,000 bill, and when we repriced it, we shaved $525,000 off the bill. The doctors are still happy. They're still getting paid. They actually, the doctors make really good money with us. So, but we shave all that pork off that was paying for other things like mutilations, abortions, sex
and things that we don't want to pay for. And so doctors are going to love it that, you know, haven't seen it yet. They're going to love it. Everybody's going to accept it. Don't worry. Doctors want to get paid. It's a business like anything else. There's no law that says you can't get paid by Impact Health as opposed to BC or BS. By the way, I put the link to sign up or get more information right there in the description, but it's also in the chat. Don't go to the first link. Well, the first link is more informational. You can go to the second one. You know, that's one of the things that I think is interesting is that as a doctor gets more signs up for this, they're going to be happy because they're going to get paid a lot quicker. So you're going to get a better deal from them. Getting a few questions. Do you mind if we take a few questions? First of all, wait a minute. Before we do that, let me ask you one question that I think is important for people to know. It would be important to me if I was going to sign up, which is how long has the company been in business, and you know how many customers do you have?
Awesome questions. Yeah,
that's
really
important. So this is not a fly-by-night operation. Go ahead.
No, it's not. Here's the thing. The other healthcare shares have been around 40 years. The executives and vice presidents stepped down from those, again, because they weren't going to change their model, and the model needed to be perfected. That was a dinosaur. The current insurance companies are a dinosaur. Let me kind of put that into perspective. We've all heard of Uber, okay? Mm-hmm. Taxi was there before Uber.
Mm-hmm.
I never take a taxi, don't want to take a taxi. Those were always the crabbiest, like when you had to call in, hey, can you have one here at 6 a.m.? Like
maybe they show up, and maybe they show up. Yeah, you don't
even always praying if they were going to show up or not. Now you can see where they're driving. So that industry was a $21 billion industry. Healthcare is a $4.6 trillion industry. So if you notice, Uber is a household name. Mm-hmm. Airbnb is a household name. I mean, I hardly ever stay at hotels anymore. It's always Airbnb. So we're making dinosaurs out of certain industries. We are, and Yahoo Finance wrote about us and said that we are the disruptor of healthcare. So we've got the executives from the 40-year-old companies, okay, that came over and started this. So this company, when these execs and VP started it, was little over 5 years ago now. And when they first got going, you know, just getting that new business up and running, they didn't do any marketing, no advertising, nothing. They pretty much did all word of mouth. Now they've brought in a marketing team that's actually taking it all across the states. And they started out with about 4,000 to 5,000 customers. And now they're into the 20, 30, 40,000. And the Yahoo article, and what we've got going on, because we are talking to influencers such as yourself and different shows we're going on, the word is now spreading like wildfire. Every holistic doctor is coming on board. We have thousands of chiropractors that have come on board. The Texas Association of Chiropractors, the Pennsylvania Association of Chiropractors, the San Diego Association. We have the finance minister of Puerto Rico, CEO, or the realtor.com CEO is on board with us, the American labor unions. I mean, it's on and on and on. We're now into the multi-thousands of customers, projected to be millions and millions within just the next couple of years.
Yeah. And I remember like 2015, a coworker told me about Uber, and I'm like, you mean I can just ride and some dude will just give me a ride down to the bar and I can drink as much as I want, and then somebody else will pick me up and bring me home and I don't have to drive. It was amazing. And I don't have to take a taxi. I don't have to wait for a taxi. So, I mean, definitely, I think Impact is, as I look at it, is going to be the Uber of medical coverage. And
this is it. This is literally it. So go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is, you know, and we'll get to the questions too, but you know, we make it so easy. We ask for the date of birth of the oldest person in the household. By the way, I only pay $150 a month, so it's not even expensive. We ask how many members there are, but we stop. You can't even go past 3. It'll say click how many family members. You can't even get past 3. That's it. They get the result immediately. We're not putting you in a database because we didn't ask for anything there, just your date of birth. And then you get to pick the plan that's right for you. Deductibles as low as $2,500, as high as $10,000, or anything in between. You pick what works for your family. So,
yeah. And what I was going to get to, I guess, is that it's health sharing is a concept that came from churches primarily, I believe. Okay. And basically, what it is everybody in the church pays into a fund that pays for the healthcare expenses of any member of the church. And now that's being taken to the same concept. Even though there's a lot of religious people in here, and they aren't going to pay for things that are not in alignment with the religious values of protecting human life. Everything else, that's how this concept came up. And that's so it's based on a very solid, moral ground, right? Moral system, much more moral, as she pointed out, than the conventional insurance companies. And they're not in it to make a profit. It's a nonprofit. So that means your costs are always going to be less, and it's going to work great. Okay. Do you want to talk a little bit more about anything else, or should we get to a few questions?
One more thing that's actually really exciting that brings in people like me. So as a naturopathic doctor, you know, my world hasn't been able, I've always like kind of butted heads with their world. So they've actually put incentives in here for people that love to do the holistic. You like to drink a mushroom coffee, you have a Peloton subscription, you go to a naturopathic doctor and you take, you know, your supplements. That's always been my insurance policy forever. I didn't even carry healthcare coverage myself, and I do very well. I just couldn't see spending $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 for one person. Couldn't see doing it. So they put together something called a health and wholeness credit, which is really cool. So you can add up your receipts. Maybe you belong to a gym and you do any of those other things. At $100 a month, you can input those. Even if you're only at $50 a month, you can put them into the portal. They have a system. Everyone will have their own website where they can log in and look at their account. And you can upload those receipts every single month, and they will deduct that off of the PRA, or the AKA deductible as everybody knows it. And I just use that term here because people have never heard the PRA term. So because we're not an insurance company, we try to never use their terms, but I do want you to understand what it was comparable to. So they let you deduct off of the deductible. So I chose the $10,000 deductible. You can choose as low as $2,500.
Mm-hmm.
So I chose the 10 because I just really wanted the plan to have something in play for any kind of catastrophic. And so I can deduct basically $100 a month for an entire year. That's $1,200 a year that would come off of my deductible.
Yeah.
Now it does restart every year, but the point is they're encouraging you to be healthy. What insurance company ever did that?
Yeah. So like, what about acupuncture and chiropractic and other things that people might use? I mean, Reiki healing, probably not, but
Yeah. The holistic world, as beautiful as it is, it goes off on every, rabbit hole, right?
Yeah.
So if they have their license number, which Reiki doesn't have a license number, a lot of massage therapists don't have license numbers. Some do, some don't. But that would fall under the health and wholeness credit. But doctors of chiropractor, that's why they're flocking to us by the thousands across this country, because they would have to wait to get paid from the insurance companies, the big ones, like 6, 8, 9, 10 months. With us, it's 10 to 15 days that they get paid. So, and we even negotiate in there what those doctors get paid for. Okay. So they're very happy that we allow them to negotiate, but they're just on our system in 5 minutes, and they just connect on the card. But if it's, the gym membership, you would just put those receipts in.
Right.
And a lot of these holistic methods.
What about like pharmaceuticals? I guess there's a question, can we deduct vitamins and supplements? What about pharmaceuticals or things, ivermectin, fenbendazole, things like that are considered controversial? I had to go outside the country to get ivermectin. And look, I'm just going to tell you, I haven't had a virus illness since I got it. I take the ivermectin, I run through 5 days, and whatever it is, and this is not medical advice, but whatever it is goes away. I'd love to get some of those costs covered. Is that something that you guys can?
So some of that, if it's prescription from a medical doctor, you're going to be able to
Be covered.
go to our portal. We have the lowest in almost every single case prescription pricing you could find. And the thing is we show you the 10 closest pharmacies. So maybe it's $10 over here and it's $1.30 over here. You decide which one you want to go to.
Right.
Okay? So yeah, we have that. I saw the other question about Medicare. If you're 65 and over, nothing is considered pre-existing. If you're 64 and below, they don't even consider high blood pressure or high cholesterol as pre-existing. And I'll get into pre-existing in a minute. But 65 and above, you guys have the lowest deductible, PRA. It's $1,000 flat. None of us have 64 and belows have that. And then if you're 65, right at that number, you're somewhere around $96 or $100 a month. You would just have to have Medicare Parts A and B. Medicare Advantage is not what is a requirement with us. It's A and B. Does
Okay.
that answer that?
Yeah, because Mary Gold also asked, can this program work as a Medicare secondary insurance or supplemental insurance?
Yeah, as long as you have A and B, you pick up Impact Health, we pick up everything else, and we reprice the bills. So remember, that's insane how we do that. Nobody else is doing that. And we pay the doctors direct.
So even somebody who's on Medicare can benefit from this?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
We want everybody that's on Medicare. We want all those 65 and aboves. We want them.
Okay. Okay, what was the other? Okay, yeah, and Lily of the Fox Valley window. Can you explain the co-share again?
Yeah.
Is it like a copay? I think it is. It's different language, right? 10% of your visits and scripts, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So most of the big companies are between 20 and 30% for their copays. That's what I have found. We are a flat 10% across the board. And if for the one who is asking those questions, if you really understand health insurance, their copays never have an end in sight. So you could be paying it and paying it and paying it forever. We have a cap of $5,000 on that even. So we don't want you to come out of pocket a ton even on that. So we have a 10% copay and we cap it so that you don't go bankrupt on copays. Just depends. If you go to the Dr. Lie, you'll be paying that.
Yeah. Go ahead and go on with the next thing you wanted to talk about, and we'll go from there.
So I did want to talk about pre-existing because that's a question for people. So let's just use that guy that I mentioned with the cancer, for example. He was in his 20s. Cancers are on the rise. He had apparently maxed out. I don't know why they wouldn't allow him a scan. I really don't know what it was, but they said he had to wait 2 or 3 months. And I'm not an insurance agent, but I am alive and breathing. And I cannot imagine that if I had a cancer that I would be willing to wait 2 or 3 months.
Well, why would, I mean, you could die in 2 or 3 months from cancer if it, what the hell? So, yeah.
So they told him no, that he couldn't have it. So then he found us. He had a doctor and had his scan within 2 days of picking us up. Now, so that would be considered a pre-existing condition. So we will reprice that, but we won't share it within the group. So we have a 36-month pre-existing condition, clause. It's like a look back, I guess. So we look back at that. So it's like, when you take the car into the body shop, if you got into a fender bender or whatever, that body shop guy, if you say, oh, I don't see the paint over here, it didn't look right, whatever, you got to go back to that guy. You don't have the new guy work for that guy's stuff and then not pay that guy. You see what I'm saying? So hopefully that kind of describes it. You go back to the original one that was working with you until they declare you, cancer-free or whatever it was. And since I am a naturopathic doctor, I love to work with people. So things like blood pressures and cholesterols and, blood sugar issues, those are all typically all reversible in 6 months or less. So it's not me doing it. It's my knowledge, my protocols, and then those things get reversed. Type 1s, we can make it better. But if you were diagnosed past birth at any point as a type 1, you're probably misdiagnosed. Okay, because they figured that out right away. So that's within 24 to 48 hours of life. So if you're a 50-year-old and you got diagnosed as a type 1, that's a misdiagnosis, in my opinion. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So hopefully that covers that on. And so if you have, anything pre-existing, we get working on it.
Okay.
That's what we do.
Yeah. And also, I guess I want to mention that if you want to do this yourself, if you're out there, if you want, talk about a small business. Like, let's say you have a small business, you have 6 or 8 employees, you're paying through the nose to BC or BS. How much can this save you on that? And basically, it gives you just as good a coverage as you're going to get from BCBS or anybody else, but for way less cost. So how will that help an employer?
Yeah, so that's such a great area. We actually specialize in businesses of 49 employees or less. So we love small companies. We love traveling nurses. They have to do it themselves. We love truckers. They have to find their own healthcare. There's tons of industries. All the realtors out there have to provide their own healthcare coverage. And so we love that. And if it's a bigger company, 50 or above, then we have a few questions like how many are 1099s versus W-2s? Because if it's 1,000 employees and they're all 1099s, guess what? We can walk in there and offer this as well because they're having to pick it up out of their pocket. I had a son who worked for Yelp and they were pulling $500 a month out of his pocket. He said, nope, I'm opting out. I don't want to do it. He came to us and spent $100 a month. So, yeah.
For basically the exact same coverage, right?
And we're actually better. That's the thing. We replace the bills. We have the health and wholeness credit. We have lower monthly, I don't want to call it a premium, but our payment every single month that goes in. And the thing is too, my money has gone in. Okay.
The thing is, premium is just a profit that you're sending to a company. Whereas here, it's not a premium because it's going to help other people. That's what it's going for.
Yes. So, and we save 50 to 70% on all the monthly premiums right now. That's our averages.
Yeah. So you're not really paying a premium. You're paying into the pool to help other human beings.
Exactly. So I have never had to use mine, and God willing, never will.
Yeah.
But my money is there. Take it.
Right.
Take my money and let it help the family that does need it.
Mm-hmm.
I am thrilled with that, because if there comes a day when I actually need it, then I'm going to be using their dollars as well.
Right.
So, and it goes into a bank. This is not like a bank like Chase or anything like that. This is all private. This is a not-for-profit company. So it's an internal bank. And so literally we had a guy that was sitting down talking to our executives, and he said, I just spent $400 million buying up a bunch of small insurance companies, and they never have one set of books. They have two, and you'll never see the one. Mm-hmm. With us, it's completely transparent. You see your money in there. You see which families it's going to. The whole thing is visible. You don't see, okay, well, John had cancer. You don't see that, but you see that your money went to help John and his family, which is amazing. Yeah. That's back to the days of church, which where the church body, a farmer hurts his leg, whatever, and they don't want him to lose the horse, the farm, the family can't starve to death. This is how it comes together. This is grassroots, true medical freedom, a real American company. Yeah. I love.
It's the future. Definitely the future.
Exactly.
Okay. Anything else you want to get into here?
I wanted to see if I hit, can you deduct the vitamins and supplements? Yes, that would be part of that health and wholeness credit. Hopefully I covered on the share program as well. Couple other things probably. We also, we throw in telehealth. A lot of people used, during the lockdowns, we'll say that word, they did not want to go into the hospitals and be exposed to other things that people might have had, right? So the insurance companies either charged extra for telehealth or they didn't even offer it at all. So a lot of doctors went independent and they put together concierge health. But what we did is we said, no, we're going to go a step further, and we're going to include for all of our members 24/7 telehealth. So if you're in bed feeling sick, you don't want to get up and go, you don't have to. You can call in. They might pick it up as quick as a minute or 3 minutes, could be 15 minutes, could be an hour. If it's like a super high time, something's happening, but they will deal with you there. And if they feel like it's an emergency, they'll say you should go. If they, just need to call you in a prescription, they can do that. So, those things are huge. So we want everyone to be a customer, but there's also a referral program here as well. So this is how we are getting it farther around this country so that we can make those other companies a dinosaur and give people options. So,
well, do you want to talk about that a little bit? I mean, that's the thing is that folks, if you want to sign up for this through me, it's great. But you can also do this too. If you're an insurance broker, let's say in your real life, you can sign up to be part of this as well. And you can then bring in all your clients and customers, and everybody becomes part of that process and benefits from it.
Exactly. So, this is a business, like I'm an independent within this company. My main career has always been as a naturopathic doctor, talk show host. When the lockdowns happened, I had been a 8-year Fox affiliate talk show host. Mm-hmm. And I was speaking out against it, or about it, I guess I should say. And I got overnight, after 8 years, myself and my co-host, they nixed the show. We were done, because those platforms didn't want to hear anything.
There's somebody in here who says, I recognize her from somewhere. And it's like, that's where you recognize her from, right?
Yeah, probably. Because I was, for 8 years, I did that. And then I was at first, it's just going to be 2 weeks, right? So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll enjoy this vacation. They'll bring it all together. Of course, that didn't happen. And then we had a really bad mayor in Miami. So I was one of those people. I will never just sit still. No re-education camp or anything is going to like work on me. I got on my bike. I went to the beach. I got kicked off the beach or threat of arrest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I have a friend, friend in Australia who got, she was out just walking with her friend at the beach. They were the only two people, and the cops spotted her, came over, and basically, Australia is a fascist police state. And they tried to arrest them for walking on the beach. It's like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Anyway, it sucks.
Well, with this new whatever that's coming out, I mean, personally, I think everyone should be out walking, but don't leave one person hanging to go be the one who gets arrested. Go en masse, go hang out with each other and support each other, and spread out and take lots of you, not, because they can't handle a bunch, but always, remaining peaceful on the beach, having a good time, go out swim. I mean, they got a guy on a kayak out here. He was out in the middle of the ocean. Like, really? He's going to grab some COVID over there? I mean,
yeah, exactly. And plus the fact COVID is just the flu, and you can cure it with Ivan, as we call him on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Ivan and
Rob. Yeah, it is a business opportunity too. Like, you can be a referral partner. We love that. We will not do any television or media. We're not going into that world, because who are we going to be competing with? We're going to be competing with big pharma. We're not doing that. We're just going to take them the natural way, called word of mouth.
Right. Well, I think a great advertising for you guys would be the Y-Files. I help write for this show. They've got 4 million subscribers on YouTube, and Impact Health would not only would it be great for their company because they have about 20 employees, but it would be great to advertise on there. However, with 4 million subscribers, that's these guys, the Ecclefish people.
Oh yeah.
And they're into all kinds of alternative stuff like this. And, he skirts the edge, AJ does, but it's $50,000 to advertise on there. But, but I do think it would be worth it. We'll see.
It would be. So Jeremy, I know you're out there listening. You guys will have to put something together. But it's an amazing opportunity. There's a tiny franchise fee. How can they reach you for just that information?
Well, they can reach me on my email at MikeBarra333. I'll put it up here at gmail.com. Is the email you can send to me. Whoops, I just put Gmail instead of gmail.com. Anyway, it's MikeBarra333 at gmail.com. I've got it set up. You can go through me and I'll get you all set up. And also, just to get a quote and more information, you can go to this. I put this in the chat. So the live links are in the chat. So anybody wants to click on that, it's there. It's also in the description of all the videos on the different YouTube channels and on Rumble. So if you guys want to get signed up or want to get just a quote and find out more information, go to any of those links. And
that's fantastic. And we have, we for the business side of it, we're actually doing a presentation tonight at 8 p.m. So we'll make sure that you have the link, Mike. Okay. And if they want to hop into that, we show them the whole vision. We show the whole picture because we actually have a whole lot more than just Impact Health. So we would show that whole side of it. And if you want to work with Mike, because that's what you'd be doing, working with Mike, myself, the Mark Z team, Jeremy, Zach. So we're just really excited to.
I'm part of Mark's team, and you guys can be part of my team if you want. And like you say, be a reseller. And there is more than just Impact Health. There's all kinds of other great others. Satellite TV things where you can save massive amounts of money. There's cell phone services. There's identity protection. I know
we have the best one out there. Yeah, for what just happened in this country and others. It's selling like crazy. So it's unending. You'll get your own website. We track everything. We pay Salesforce to do all of that tracking, and we talk all about that tonight. And these guys are fun to work with, obviously, or you wouldn't even be on here. They're fun and hilarious, funny, literally.
When I heard about this, it just struck me as a way to get around the evil insurance companies and do what they do for so much less and to the better benefit of the people that are in my community. So.
Exactly.
What I really recognize about you guys and appreciate very much. And probably, yeah, as we get going here, I will probably be doing some of the other products, the identity theft or whatever, and bringing you guys into it. So
okay, yeah, that's huge. And just that alone has brought on thousands of customers.
there you go. There's a growth business right there. We need health sharing for pets. I agree, because
we do agree too.
There is pet insurance out there, but it is insanely expensive. Okay, I've kept you quite a while. Is there anything else you would like to throw in before we let you go?
I think we covered it all. Jeremy, send us a note if we missed any part of this topic, because I would definitely hit it. But the opportunity is now. We don't want to be doing this, at this pace, hard and heavy years from now. We want everybody to be on track with us now. Oh, by the way, during those lockdowns, there was like 4 or 5 things that people never got rid of. Do you know what they were, Mike?
No.
Did you get rid of your cell phone?
No, I kept it.
Did you get rid of your internet?
No, not yet.
Television?
No.
See, we're recession proof. So if we're going into that again, and healthcare was the other one. Nobody got rid of these things. Everybody held on. Mm-hmm. So we are recession proof. So as realtors, we love realtors because they're starving on the vine right now, most of them. So there's so much opportunity here.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. And like I said, you become part of my team. We were then part of Mark's team, and that's how it all works. I got a couple questions over on Rumble. Can I run them by you quickly before we let you go? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, I will post this on Telegram when we get done. Somebody would like to know, will it cover Meluca? Meluca products? Melucia? Do you know what that is?
Melaleuca? Are they saying Melaleuca?
Melaleuca, right.
Okay. So basically you would add up your receipts and then you put them into our back end, our portal, and that will come off of your deductible.
Okay.
So any company, any health company whatsoever, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Is there coverage on the Central Coast of California, Mary? Yes, there is. There's coverage everywhere. So
yeah, there is actually, Mike, that's a great question because it prompts me into, there are 3 states right now, but we have workarounds for that, where you can't actually, sign up with your address. If you're in Washington State, or what was the other one? Rhode Island, I think.
People's Republic of Washington, yes.
Yeah, and then New Jersey. But New Jersey legislators, we're working on it there, and it's looking hopeful.
That's going to come up. New Jersey's going to come up. And then there's one other state. I want to say it's a Western state also, like Montana.
I think it's Washington. But if let's say you have an address in Oregon, there's a workaround. You know what I mean?
You just
and the doctors in Washington can take it. They can, yeah.
They can take it, but you just simply put in a different residential address.
Correct.
Signing up, and then you can still use it in Washington or in New Jersey or the other states.
Yeah, so that's right. That's right.
Important. So yes, California is a part of that. There's one more question I thought was interesting. What's the difference between this and a co-op?
So can they describe the co-op?
I guess
I'm an insurance agent, so I deal with the bigger ones. Now, if you're, let's say, a police officer, or if you're, maybe a teacher and you're getting like state funded, they're already paying the bulk of yours. And I'm not talking an employer, I'm talking like a state thing or a military. You can still pick us up, but for the police, they have like outstanding. So chances are stay there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks. We can't keep you too much longer. Again, you can contact me about this if you want at mikebera333@gmail.com. Also, you can go to the link, and the link is in the description on all the sources of this video. So wherever you're seeing this video, you can go to Impact Health Sharing. That's the link. It's a live link in the chat if you want to click on it. Awesome. Or pick it up and just copy and paste it out of the description for later on. Dr. Randi, thank you for being here. Appreciate it very much. We'll bring you back to talk about Impact Health again. And as I branch out into other stuff, that's a good deal. I'll be bringing it on these kinds of seminars as well. So thanks for being here very much. Thank you everybody else for being here. Appreciate
lots of great questions. So great.
Appreciate each and every one of you. And I'll be back tomorrow night for Toxically Masculine Tuesday with the guys. And then Wednesday, I'll be back with Jen and Whiskey and Wisdom. So I'll see you guys then. Have a great Monday.
You know what, Mike? I'm on Whiskey and Wisdom with you guys this week.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It's a guys show, but I got invited in, so I'm coming in.
You better bring that gynocentric energy, because it's a very macho thing. Well, it's not that macho, because I can't get Zach and Mark to, like, macho. But it'll be a fun, competitive environment. So.
It'll be great. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it, too. Thanks for being here, Dr. Randi. I really appreciate it very much. Dr. Randi Shannon